Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. And in this video tutorial, we're going to continue our food delivery app. So this is where we ended last time, and I want us to continue with the horizontal list view, and then we have some header here, the frequently bought foods, and then VR. We are going to do that in the horizontal list view, and I think we are also going to do the bottom navigation, and then I think we will separate this home screen into a new folder called pages, so that we have all our pages in one folder. And then when we tap on any item on the bottom navigation bar, we move to that page. So let's start with the header here, frequently bought food, and then VO. So I'll just close this down, and then here I think all you need here is a row. Yeah, so the row will help us to align our widgets uh in the horizontal order. So we can, with the row, we can put any number of widgets inside our row, and then they will align themselves in a horizontal manner from the left to the right. So let's do that with children, and then this children we can just pass our test. We just need a test, and here we just need frequently bought foods, and then we need another test called, I think, VO. Sorry, VO. So when I save this file, what do I get? Now we have our test there. So we first have to check the alignment of the row. So main axis alignment, and you say main axis alignment dot space between. So the main axis alignment always refers to um the main direction of the row. So if you have a row, then the main axis alignment is referring to the horizontal direction, and if it's a column, then it's referring to the vertical direction. So we use main axis alignment dot space between to create a space between the two test widgets. So now we can just add some style to our widget test. Let me just do that, and then we can say star, and then think test star. So and we can say the font size should be 18. I think 18 will do, and also I think we need a font weight dot bold. So I think that will do. Let's also style this one um and then we can also have font size of 18. They all have the same font size, so 18.0. Sorry, I don't know why I'm making this mistake. And then we need also font weight of this one to be bold, and I think we need a different color for this one. Okay, colors dot, I think orange accent. I used orange accent for the previous one. So we have this and we need a space between the search field and then the header. I think we can just do that with a size box here. So I'll just go ahead and copy this code here and then paste it here to just give a space. And then I think that's okay. So we know that when you click on the view, it will open to another page. So I'll just surround this one with a gesture detector. Let me just do this one. Let me wrap it with a gesture detector, and then we can set the on tab to null for now, Okay, so we need to create our vertical list view of foods item. So to do that, we are going to create a new file in our widgets, um, and then we will call it bot foods dot dot, and this will be a stateful widget. So let's just import a package and then flutter material dot dot, and then we need to create this for foods extend the stateful widget. So I'll just go ahead and create this. Okay, so we have our stateful widget now here. So let's just look at the image for our app, and looking at this food items, we need a picture, and then we need the name of the picture, and then the reviews. We also need I think this is the price, and then the type of order. So with this one, we are going to use a stack, um, because we can see different items are stacked on each other. So we are just going to use a stack for this list view items. So let's do that. We will start with the image, and then we will do this designs here, this dark overlay here. So let's just do that. So we need a stack. We have to return a stack here, and then a stack take the children widgets that we are going to stack to each other. So with this one, we first need I think a container, and then with the container, I think we need a height, and then we need a width. So the height, I'll just say 200.0 for now, and then I'll say the width also 340.0. And then this one will take our image. Sorry. So we have image.assets, and then let's just pass any image to it for now. Let me just look for the images. I think breakfast will do. So I'll just go ahead and say access images, no asset, and then breakfast.jpg. I think that one is okay. Okay, so to see what we are doing, I want to go into the home screen and just create a container to display what we are doing there. So let's just create and then say child, and then this time I'm just going to import the widget we just create. So widgets, and then I'm going to say bot foods dot dot, and then I can come here and then create an instance of that class or widget. Say bot foods, and I think this should give me something. Okay, nothing is showing. Oh, okay, nothing happened because the path for the image is incorrect, so it's supposed to be images like this one. So I'm going to run let's close and then reload this application. Let me just close the whole application and then restart the application. Okay, so we have our image here, so we can actually see what we are doing here. Our image is here, so we can just go ahead and then create another container for the overlay. We are going to use a container for the overlay, and sorry, I think sorry, it's supposed to be container. Yeah. So with this one, what we are going to do is to just create an overlay at the bottom of this image. So we can just go ahead and use the decoration and say box decoration, and then we can give it a gradient, and then we want a linear gradient, and in this linear gradient we can actually pass the colors that we want to use, and then this will take list of colors. So I think we need black, colors of black, black, and then we need a second color of colors dot black 12. So with this one, we also have to set the beginning of um the colors, I mean the gradient, the beginning gradient and then the end. So with this one we can say alignment that, let's say this will start from, I think, bottom center, and then we also need alignment dot top center. So let's just save it, and we don't see anything. So we need to give a height and a width to the container. So let's go ahead and just do this height of, let's say, 60.0, and let's say a width of 340.0, and let's see what happens. Okay, so we have this overlay here, and that's not why we want this. I think the width is too much, so I'm just gonna cut this by 320. Should I just, okay, let me just go into the debot foods here. Okay, not this one is 340, this one is supposed to be 340. I think they should be of the same weight, that will be okay. But let's position this overlay to the bottom. So I'm just going to wrap this container with a position widget. So to position any widget in a stack, you need the position widget to actually position any charge widget you want in a stack. So I'm just gonna do that, and I want to set the left to 0.0. So that means I want this to be directly on the left, and then the bottom to be 0.0. So that means it's supposed to be at the bottom. And when we save, it goes to the bottom. In the image here, this image is supposed to be, let's set the fit here, because when you check the actual width of the container is 340, but this one is not picking up. So let me just go back and say 340, and then set the fit of the image and say box fit dot cover. So with this one, this will allow the image to take the full weight of the container. So we have this one done, we have our overlay here, and then let me look at the image here. We need our text, and then the ranking, the price, and the mini order, and then we will have to shape our stack. So let's just go ahead and do the title, review, and the rest on the overlay. So with this one, we just go ahead and create a row, because when you look at the design here, we need a row. So a row for these items on the overlay, and then we need a column for the food name and then the review, and then a column for the price and then the type of order. So let's just go ahead and say column here, and then this column will also take children, and in this children we need a test, and this test will just be the name of our food item. So let's just say hot coffee, and then we can also, let me just see what we have so far. So we have the hot coffee. We also have to, you can see that the hot coffee is here. We have to also set the color. So let's just go and start the test, and then we can also say color, so colors dot white, and then I think we also need a font size, and let's just make it 18.0, and also I think a font weight to font weight dot bold. So we will have that one there, Okay, so we also need to create a review. And with the review, I'm just going to use a row, because when you look at the image here, you can see it's just a series of icons, like series of icons. So I'm going to use a row for this. Let's just do that. So we can use a row in a row, or a row in a column, or a row in a row in a row. You can use multiple rows in a row, or multiple columns in a row. So I'll just go ahead and do create a row, and then this will take children of the star icons we want to use. So I'll go ahead and create my icon and say icons.star, and then we also need a color for this. So I'm just going to use the theme color, and then I will say primary color, and then we need a size for the icon. I think 16.0 will do. So you don't worry about where it is stuck. Let's just go ahead and then create 5 of these icons. So I'll just go ahead and copy this and just paste. Okay, so we have 5 of these, and okay, so we also need to align these things properly and also push this to the overlay. So to first push this to the overlay, we are going to need a position widget. So I'll wrap the row with a position widget. Always remember, if you want to position any widget in a stack, you need a position widget, and then you pass your widget to the position widget as a child, and then you set the left, right, bottom, and then top of the position widget. Then you align it very well the way you want it. So I'll just go ahead and say left to 0.0, and then bottom to 0.0. Let's see what we get. Okay, so this is way too down, so I'm just going to make the bottom 10.0, and also the left 10.0, and then I think we will have a good yeah, so it is well positioned the way I want it. But we also have to align this widget in the row. So to do that, I'll set the cross axis alignment on the column and say cross axis alignment dot start, and then the column is in the vertical order, and then the row is in the horizontal order. So if I say the cross axis alignment of the column, then I'm referring to the horizontal direction instead of the main axis alignment, which is the vertical direction. So if I say cross axis dot start, then this should move to the left on the horizontal direction. So let's just save this and see what we get. Okay, so you can see the icons aligned with the name of the food item, and then let's go ahead and then create our we have a text here saying 22.0 reviews. So let's just do that with the test, and then we can say 22.0 reviews here, and then when we save, we see there, but we have to make sure it's clear enough. I can just go ahead and say this, and then let's give it a color, sorry, a star. To actually use color on a text, you need a text star, so we can just go ahead and say colors dot gray. I think gray will do. So let me just go ahead and save this one. Okay, so we have our color here, and I think the font size is okay. I think it's okay. Let's just set a font size of 16 and then save it. 16 is too much. Let me just leave the font size to be to be default. I don't want 16. 16 is too much. So we need to put a space between the icons and then the review. So we just go ahead and use the size box width. So we are going to use that and say 20.0, and I think this will do. So we have that one. Okay, so we have a space here, and now we need another column inside our row. So we need another column inside our row which will take care of our price and then also the type of order. So we just go ahead and create another column after this column. So you can see right after this column I'm creating another column here. I can just go ahead and say children, which will also take our children, and we just need two texts. So let's just create our text, and then one will be the price, let's say 22, and then one will be our type of order, and then we can go ahead and say mini order. So let's save and see what we get. Okay, so you can see it right here that I'm going to I have to put a space between these two widgets in the row. So inside my row I'll say main axis alignment, and I say main axis alignment or space between to actually put a space between these two columns. So let's see what we get. I think nothing happened. I don't know why nothing happened, but let's just go ahead and start this test widgets, and then we can look for why it's not happening. So I can just go ahead and just give this color and say the star, and then I can call a color on this, and let me say gray test style. Sorry, it's supposed to be test style. And also we need to start this one and say star and then text star, and then we can give a font weight of bold, and then we can also give a color of colors dot orange accent, and then I think I can save it and see what we have so far. Okay, so we have this so far. Let me just increase the size of the price text, so I can just go ahead and say 18, and that's okay for now. Yeah, but then I still don't have my space between these two columns, and I don't know why. I use the main axis alignment or space between, and nothing happened. Why? It's supposed to put a space between them because these two columns are the children of this row. But okay, let's just ignore this for now. I'll just comment it, and then let me try and use another widget called a spacer. The spacer will just try to also put a space between these items, and I can't see my my other column, so I think this is not a good idea. Let me just remove it and then go back to uncomment this one. This one should work. I don't know. Sorry, this one is supposed to work, but I don't know why it's not working. It's supposed to work. Main axis alignment or space between. I don't know why I'm not getting my space between that. I don't want to use a size box. Okay, I think maybe it's coming from the position widget. So let me just go ahead and say right of 10.0 and see what happens. Oh, okay. So I get it. So I needed to set I think a boundary on the position for the rise so that it can the row can just create a space between these two um columns. So I think I have my columns, I have everything. So now I will go ahead and create, put a space between the header and then the food item. So let me go into my home screen here and then say size box, and then I can say height of 20.0 will do, and then I can save that. Okay, so I have a space between. So now we have to create the radius border on the food item. So to do that, because this is a stack, we have to surround the stack with a clip ret widget. So I can just go ahead and then put this one here, wrap this with a clip ret. So with our clipped red, we can actually set the, I think, border radius. Now I need the clip. So with this clip red, I can actually set a border radius on my stack. So when you look at it, say it creates a rounded rectangular clip. So you can, it said the border radius defaults to border radius dot zero, a rectangle with a right angle corner. So that's exactly what we want, because our food item is a rectangle, in shape, but we want to add a border radius to it. So we can just go ahead and then say border radius to border radius dot circular, and I just need a small border radius. So let's see. Yeah, and then we have this. So we have our um, food item designed, but then you see we will get in the application we will have a lot of food items under the bought foods or frequently bought foods. So we will need to convert those list of food items into this widget. But I think this video has been long, and then I need to just stop here. So in the next video tutorial, I will just go ahead and then convert the list of food items into this particular widget, and then we can also create the bottom navigation bar. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and if you like this video, please click the like button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video tutorial.